Regression analysis, as we all know, this is used for prediction of a dependent variable based on the values of independent variables. Okay, now let us see what is this regression analysis, how it can be used, what are the different terms that are associated with regression analysis. Okay, and based on that, we will make this regression into a live demonstration. Okay, so there are some proper definitions for the term regression analysis. Okay, here we name or mean it like regression analysis is used to identify and evaluate the relationship between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. Okay, that is the concept of regression analysis. Okay, this is one of the most commonly used statistical technique in social science and behavioral science disciplines. Okay, most of the time we will try to develop a small model and we try to validate that model using this regression analysis. Okay, using this regression analysis model, if you find the model to be satisfactory one, then that estimates the regression equation and that can be used to predict the value of dependent variable by having the value of independent variables. Okay, we have many types of regression methods. Here we are going to learn about simple linear regression and multiple linear regression. Okay, when it comes to simple linear regression, here we have two types of variable. One is the dependent variable and another one is the independent variable. Okay, one dependent variable and one independent variable will be there when you go for simple linear regression analysis. Okay, keeping the value of independent variable, we used to predict the value of dependent variable. Okay, when it comes to multiple regression, here we have one dependent variable and on the other side, we have multiple independent variables. Okay, instead of having one dependent and one independent variable, here we have one dependent variable and multiple independent variable for the prediction of the model. Okay, that is the difference between simple regression and the multiple regression. Here we need to know about what is independent variable and what is dependent variable. In case of independent variable, okay, we can measure it directly. We can measure it directly. Okay, these independent variables are also called as predictor variables or explanatory variables. Okay, why we call it as predictor variable is keeping this, we are going to predict the behavior of dependent variable. That is why we call it as a predictor variable or explanatory variable. Okay, if you say customer satisfaction as a dependent variable, then we need to talk about what are the factors that influences the customer satisfaction. Those factors which influences the customer satisfaction will be called as the predictor variable or explanatory variable, or even in our term, we call it as independent variables. Okay, the second type of variable we need to understand is dependent variable. Okay, dependent variable is here we are going to predict the values based on the value of independent variable. Okay, these dependent variables are dependent on the independent variables. That is why we call it as dependent variable. Since they are dependent on independent variable, we name it as dependent variable, or this is also called as outcome variable. Okay, this is also called as outcome variable. Okay, these two terms we need to have it an understanding. Without having an understanding on dependent variable and independent variable, we will not be in a position to formulate and run a regression analysis. Okay, whenever you try to run a regression analysis, we need to clearly identify what is our dependent variable and what are our independent variables. We cannot run a regression analysis for both dependent variables, or both independent variables cannot be taken for regression analysis. Okay, that is the logic. Okay, one dependent variable must be there and one or more independent variables must be there. Then moving on to the validity and reliability measurement for our regression analysis is, these are some of the methods where we can ensure that the result, whatever we obtain using this regression analysis, is correct or wrong. Okay, so the first thing what we need to ensure is, does the model make intuitive sense? Okay, by looking into the model, whatever you have developed, you must come to your conclusion, whether it is giving you some sort of intuitive sense or not. Okay, second one is the model easy to understand and interpret? You check whether the model is easy to understand and it is easy to interpret the model. We should not create a model which is very complicated to understand or which is very complicated to interpret the results of the outcome. Third one is, are all the coefficients statistically significant? Are all the coefficients statistically significant? So all these points we will consider at the later point of time when we are doing this on a hands-on basis. Here, in case of running and regression analysis, while getting the output, we also get the output in the form of ANOVA table. Okay, in ANOVA table, one of the factors which we need to consider for measuring the significance is the p-value. Okay, if you have more number of independent variable in our model, then we need to check what is the p-value of all those independent variables. Okay, all those p-values should be less than 0.05. Okay, how we got this less than 0.05 is it is dependent on our level of confidence. Okay, we can in social science we can have a confidence level like 90%, 95%, and 99%. Okay, in most of the social science research, we used to have the confidence level as 95%. Okay, if you say your confidence level on the data what you collected is 95%, then the remaining 5% we take it for calculating the p-value. So 5 divided by 100. 5 divided by 100, that is equal to 0.05. So that is the base for deciding the statistically significant or not. Okay. Then fourth one is, are the signs associated with the coefficients are as expected? Okay. Before running the analysis itself, we come to a general assumption that the coefficients will be, the results will be as related to our expectation, that we need to measure it. Okay. Then does the model predict the value that are reasonably close to the actual values? Okay, here we have predicted some values, right? So that value should be reasonably close with the actual value. If you say 10,000 units will be the sales for the next quarter, at least your actual sales must be very close to the 10,000 units. Okay, your prediction should not be 10,000 units and your sales should not be 5,000 units. At the same time, your sales should not be 15,000 units also. Okay, whatever you predict, that should be very close to the actual values, whatever is there in our real time. Okay, and finally, is the model sufficiently sound? How to test the model whether it is sufficiently sound? We have two concepts to measure this. One is the R-square value. Okay, by keeping the R-square value, we can identify to what extent our model is sufficiently fit. Okay, this R-square value, this is nothing but your correlation value. Okay, always this correlation value will be ranging between -1 and +1. Here we need to have the highest value in our R-square value. Okay, and the second parameter we used to look into is the standard error. Okay, whatever may be our prediction, we used to give some leverage on the error factor. Okay, this error factor must be at the lowest end. Okay, we should not say that the predicted value of sales is 10,000 with the standard deviation of 3,000. That is not the right way of predicting. Okay, so that will have a high significance on your decision making. Okay, here we need to look at the standard error, and that standard error should be at the lowest end. Okay, these two things will be the parameters to measure how far the model will be sufficiently sound enough to predict the dependent variable. Okay, these 6 points we will consider at the later point of time, and we will have a better understanding on how to measure the validity and reliability of a model, whatever we develop. Okay. Then coming to the objective. The primary objective of this regression is to develop a linear relationship between the dependent variable and the independent variable, right? Keeping the assumption that the functional linear relationship exists and the alternative approaches are superior. Okay, we will explain it more about in case of assumptions. Okay, these are some of the assumptions based on which the regression analysis has been performed. Okay, the first assumption is the relationship between dependent variable and independent variable is linear. Okay, if you draw a straight line, you must get a straight line with the data whatever you have. Okay, by using a simple line chart or a scatter plot, you can easily understand the relationship between dependent variable and independent variable. Then second assumption is the expected value of the error term is 0. The expected value of the error term is 0. I'll tell you how this is assumed. Okay. The variance of the error term is constant for all the values of independent variable. Okay, this is another important assumption. The variance of the error term is constant for all the values of the independent variable. Okay, this we also call it as homoscedasticity. Okay, this is also called as homoscedasticity. Then fourth assumption is there is no autocorrelation. There is no autocorrelation between the independent variables. Okay, then the error term is normally distributed. The error term is normally distributed. The independent variable is uncorrelated with the error term. On an average, the difference between observed value and predicted value is 0. That is another assumption. Okay, on an average, the difference between observed value and the predicted value is 0. That I'll tell you while going for analysis. On an average, the estimated value of errors and the value of independent variable are not related to each other. On an average, the estimated value of errors and the value of independent variable are not related to each other. Okay, this is another parameter of assumption. Then the squared difference between the observed value and the predicted value are similar. The squared difference between the observed value and predicted value are similar. Okay, we will explain it at a later point. There is some variation in independent variable. There is some variation in the independent variable. Okay, the reason why there is some variation is only then we can measure the dependent variable perfectly. Okay, if there are more than one variable in the equation, then two variables should not be perfectly correlated. Okay, so for example, if you have more than one variable in your independent group, then those independent groups or independent variables should not be a perfect correlated variable. Okay, if those two are perfect variable correlated variable, then we need to reconsider that variables. Okay, based on these assumptions, we start running our regression analysis for the data whatever we have. Okay, as I told you, we are going to learn about only two different types of regression in this course, like simple regression and multiple regression. Okay, first we'll try to understand what is simple regression model, and then we go to multiple regression model. Okay, coming to simple regression model, simple regression or simple linear regression is a statistical method that allows to summarize and study the relationship between two continuous variable. Okay, two continuous variable. In a cause and effect relationship, the dependent variable is the cause in the cause and effect relationship, the independent variable is the cause and the dependent variable is the effect. Okay, why certain things have happened? Okay, if you say a customer is not satisfied with your product and service, what made them to have that feeling of dissatisfaction? Okay, that we will try to mention. Then least squares linear regression is a method for predicting the value of dependent variable y based on the value of independent variable x. Always we try to understand the concept of regression by keeping the variable name as x and y. Always y will be the dependent variable and x will be the independent variable. Okay, here in our case, we denote x as a predictor variable or explanatory variable or independent variable. The other variable, which is denoted as y, we call it as the response variable or outcome variable, or it is also called as dependent variable. Okay, by using this two variables, we form an equation called as y is equal to a plus bx plus error term. Okay, this is the mathematical model for simple regression equation. Okay, we also call it as y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 into x1 plus error term. Okay, this is in this way also we used to name our regression model. Okay, where here in this case, x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. Beta 1 is the slope of regression line and beta naught is the intercept point of regression line and the x-axis. Okay, in other terms, we also call it as a will be the constant and b will be the coefficient of the independent variable. E will be denoting the error term. Okay, wherever we go for any measurement, we need to have some leverage on our measurement. Okay, 100% accurately, we will not be in a position to predict. Okay, whatever may be our tool or whatever may be the technique we use, we will not be in a position to predict 100% perfectly. Okay, there may be some error terms, and that error term we need to include in our prediction. Only then we will be able to understand how that prediction will be getting varied. Okay, this is a simple regression model. Okay, in case of this y is equal to a plus bx plus e, y will be the dependent variable and this x will be the independent variable and b will be the coefficient of x variable, a will be the constant and e will be the error term. Okay, always we need to go with this regression equation for simple linear regression. Then we move on to the multiple linear regression. Multiple regression, the name itself will be explanatory. This is an extension of our simple linear regression. The same, what do you call it, the equation we will going to use for multiple regression equation, but with multiple independent variables. Okay, I'll tell you what is that difference. In case of this simple linear regression model, we have only one independent variable and we have denoted it as only x. Okay, if we have more than one independent variable, then instead of this x, we denote it as x1. And second independent variable will be denoted as x2. Okay, and third variable will be added to this like a plus bx2, bx4, x5, and so on. Okay, that will be the, so here we consider this as an extension. When this is extended to more than one variable, we call it as multiple regression model. Okay, so this multiple regression model is used when we want to predict the value of dependent variable based on the value of two or more independent variables. Based on the value of two or more independent variables. For example, let us take the classroom performance of students. Okay, classroom performance of students. For example, in case of a simple regression model, what I assume is based on the number of hours the student is getting ready for the exam. Based on that, he is scoring. That is one assumption, and I'm start doing a regression analysis. Okay, so higher the number of study hours, higher is going to be the mark. That is what my assumption. Okay, here the dependent variable is the exam marks. Y is equal to exam marks. Okay, so the other variable, study hours, okay, that is going to be a independent variable. Okay, we are trying to understand whether this study hour is having any influence on the exam marks scored by the individuals. Okay, so when you study this relationship, then we call it as simple regression model. Okay, here only one outcome variable and one independent variable is considered. Okay, when it comes to multiple regression, we used to predict the same exam marks by having more than one independent variable. In the previous case, I told you we are taking only the number of hours the student studies for the examination. Okay, now in this multiple regression model, we are adding two more variables like the students' previous academic year performance, as well as the students' attendance percentage in the classroom. Okay, I am considering three variables here to predict the score of the students. Okay, one the variable, the first independent variable is the study hours. Second independent variable is the class percentage, attendance percentage, and third variable is the previous year's academic performance. Okay, keeping on these three independent factors, I'm going to predict the dependent variable called performance of students. Okay, if that is the case, then we can call it as multiple regression model. Okay. So multiple regression allows you to determine the overall fit of the model and the relative contribution of each of the predictor to the total variance explained. For example, I told you there are three factors that influences the student's performance. Okay, we can explain to what extent these three independent factors are having influence on the dependent variable. For example, I can say number of hours the student studies for the examination influences the student's performance by 60%. Okay, we have another two variables like the student's attendance performance or attendance percentage. Okay, the student's attendance percentage is predicting the percentage of marks up to, for example, 70%. Okay, then the third variable, how much variance is explained by that third variable. Altogether, when all these three are combined, what is their overall influence on the dependent variable? That we can easily predict and we can have an understanding. Okay. This is the equation for multiple linear regression. Mathematically, we denote it as y is equal to beta naught plus or minus beta I into xi plus up to beta n and xn plus u is the error term. Okay, here xi to x1 represents the independent variables. Xi to xn independence or represents the independent variable. Y is denoting the dependent variable. Beta 1, beta 2, and beta naught will be representing the variable x1, variable x2, and variable x3. Okay, beta naught will be representing the intercept point of the regression line. Here we also can bring out the same regression equation in a different way, like y is equal to a plus bx1 plus bx2 plus bx3 and so on. And finally, we add the error term to the regression model. Okay, so that way also we can write down the equation for regression analysis. In most of the terms, we used to denote in this particular way: beta naught plus beta I plus beta I into xi plus up to the last variable. Okay, so this is the multiple linear regression model expressed in mathematical equation. Okay, so this is the thing we need to understand before entering into our actual regression analysis. Okay, here we have taken a small case study for our analysis.